Anger Committee.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the established 1982 podcast, the geek culture podcast hosted by responsibly irresponsible adults that have loved video games, comic books, movies, and TV ever since 1982. I'm your boy, Wally, and as always, I'm joined by Mr. 1%, the benevolent Suge Knight, Rowls Elise. I know you told me not to introduce you like that anymore, but I had to do it once for 2021.
Suge Knight is infamous.
That's why I say you're like the bizarro Suge Knight, though.
Okay. Yeah.
Like you're everything that he is not, other than the beard.
Yeah. Well,
like if you flip Suge Knight completely over, you'd be the antithesis Suge Knight.
okay,
Loving, caring, compassionate, empathetic.
You're not hanging people out of
windows.
yeah.
We're into the community. We're here
Right.
for the kids.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't want any smoke from anybody.
No.
shaking people down, man.
Right. Yeah.
You see him on the street. Oh,
Right.
man, that's Ryan, man. We gotta get on down, man. Don't let him come across the street.
Right.
That other voice you hear is one that we love to have on the podcast very often. We have him on often when we're talking about just the culture in general, geek culture in general, and how it relates to just race relations and things like that, and the intricacies of the industry, considering that he is a creative within that industry. He is a comic book illustrator, writer extraordinaire, Martheus Wade, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again, sir.
No problem, man.
This man is drawing, putting his lovely art to my pet project, my endeavor that I don't talk about a lot. But the reason I'm talking about it now is because your art is behind it. So even if the story is boo-boo, it'll look good.
Now the story legit. That's the reason why I did it in the first place, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. For those you don't know, it's a Batman Elseworld story. But enough about me. Martheus, tell the
Uh-oh. Do we
you can't assume that the people that are listening and watching today are. Am I freezing up?
Yeah.
Am I freezing up?
And your voice is catching up with you. So
Okay. Am I back?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's bring it back. Maybe if I talk slow, it always happens to me. I'm going to try to talk as little as possible. But Martheus, tell everybody this type of stuff you got going on.
Man, right now, I'm actually working on like you were saying before, I'm working on Ryan's Williams project and Batman Elseworld story. So that's actually looking real good. And then I'm working I'm trying to take a picture a snapshot out of Ryan's page, and I finally got my LLC for my graphic design company. So I've been doing that. And I've been doing a lot of like brand identity and stuff like that too. So that's the majority, brand identity. And, I've been also doing some, direct mail pieces and things like that for right now, and then comic book wise, man, I've just been working on comic books, for a little bit. I actually got an agent now, which is actually really cool. So I've been working on pitch packets and things like that, which I can show you some of it later on if y'all want.
Yes.
Some behind the scenes type stuff. But I've been working on pitch packets and stuff like that for all of my properties. For Shinobi Ninja Princess is the big one. And then
you get that on Amazon, correct?
Yeah, and you can get that one on Amazon. You can go to our site, Toshigawa Universe .com, and you can get it on there. And then also Jetta Tales of Toshigawa, which is actually where all of it started from. So I've been doing a pitch for those. Working on pitch packets and Bibles for those. My web series, Ready to Spar as well. And my new series that I'm actually writing with my son called Iron Ninja 5, man. So I forgot. It's like it's in my
got
head.
so much going on.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. So me and me and him are working on that project together. He when we started, he was 9. Now he 11. So we've been talking about it, and I've been sketching on it for like 2 years. I just haven't really we hadn't finalized a lot of stuff until now. And when we got it finalized, my agent was like, "Man, dude, that sounds good. Why don't you add that to the pitch packet?" So that's what I'm doing now as well. So it's a lot, man. It's a lot of stuff. I'm
You
trying
also
to
did a mural, right?
Yeah, man. We did a mural when it was much warmer outside. It's like we did a mural in Memphis, man, because we were part of Paint Memphis. It's just this big. If it wasn't for COVID, we would have been able to do what it was supposed to be. But Paint Memphis was like this big festival that has it invites spray painters and muralists from around the U.S. They come to Memphis and they spray paint on downtown Memphis. It's like they have big sections of wall around downtown Memphis, and everybody gets their own section, and you paint your mural on that. And we were lucky enough to be able to be included this year. This is our first year. This is our first mural. And we wanted to do one that was in dedication of like heroes coming together. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like our idea for the mural was like, our heroes was busting through the fabric of the universe. So it was like it was ripping the pages, of a comic book coming through the wall and stuff. So it was fun, man. It was fun. I think it was 68 hours, I think.
Wow.
Of painting. It was me and my son Anakin, my wife Janet, our editor Kevin Williams, and our friend and painter DeMarco Randall. And we just went out there and we knocked it out on top of scaffolding and everything. It was cool. It was fun.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Yeah. But like I said, it's just been a lot of stuff. I've been trying to keep busy, man. Like I said, I got laid off, from baseball in March, and man, I just tried to hit the ground running because time waits for nobody, and these bills are gonna pile up no matter if there's sports or what I mean, comics or what going out. They don't gonna care about it. So I've been trying to be able to keep it rolling, man, and make something, really just make something for myself and make something for my family. You know what I mean? Something I can't give a desk job doing graphic design for somebody to Anakin later on. Like if Anakin wanted to do graphic design or he wanted to have something to fall back on, I can't give that to him and say, here you go, you can have my seat. You know what I'm saying? But wealth, like reoccurring wealth, a business acumen, things like that. I could be able to help him out later on in life, So I think it's time for me to do that, as opposed to as opposed to making other people so much money, man. I'm starting to make myself some wealth, man, and my family some wealth.
Yeah, 2020 has taught us some definite lessons about business and where your money's going and
man,
what is more important in life. So
right.
So I commend you on taking that journey.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I will honestly. I saw your post about your agency, and I was like, man, that man doing it, man. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something. He shook somebody out of a window over there, man. I'm gonna start shaking books out of windows over here.
I'm officially shaving the beard off, man.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Man, it's not as
if during COVID,
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. No, but I did. I saw the agency post, man. I was like, man, that is fresh. Like I really wanted to. I had been working on it for a while. I just never pulled the trigger because you know how it is. You get comfortable. You get comfortable where you at, And I love what I was doing. I love doing sports design, man. That's it's fun, man. When it worked out, it worked,
Right.
So I was comfortable, man. And then, when this hit, I was like, put this stuff in full gear. Let me do this,
Yeah.
So
And in terms of sports design, I mean, like, you having your foothold in the comic book world, there's a lot of crossover because a lot of times they want their athletes to look like superheroes. So it's like, just natural there.
Yeah, man. So it was just a perfect fit, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully in the business end though, I can get back into that. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be able, like, especially doing this branding, I know we getting off subject, but doing this branding thing, man, so hopefully I could get back into getting some clients that are, sports teams and sports acumen and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So we'll see.
Right.
Keep you guys posted on that.
It's not too far off topic considering all the stuff that you have going on and all the things that you have your hands in. We had a conversation, and that's really the nature of this podcast, this episode, is that because you have so much going on, you're a voice of wisdom that we often turn to. And we got to talking to you. Yeah. A voice of wisdom.
A voice of wisdom.
A voice of wayward thinking.
No, man. No, because you really enlightened us in the conversation that we had. Because basically everybody that's listening and watching, man, we called our man here, Martheus, after having seen Wonder Woman, this 84. And he's a Wonder Woman fan, so I was like, we got to talk to Martheus.
Yeah, I'm a huge Wonder Woman fan.
And so the topic turned to one about the passion of fans of geek culture, and he raised a very interesting point regarding, I guess, the detriment of such fervor. To a degree. Now, everybody knows, if you listen to this podcast, that I'm the one to quickly fly off the handle whenever there's something that I don't like. You know what I'm saying? But he gave us a fresh perspective. So if you would just begin to share a little of that as it related to our conversation with WW84.
Okay.
From both the fan perspective of Wonder Woman and then your opinions regarding how we're treating properties that we don't feel are living up to standard.
Right.
As a content creator.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. From that perspective.
So, there's two ways, like and since the conversation, because that was like what, a week ago, 2 weeks ago?
Probably about a week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that.
Yeah.
It was like right after Wonder Woman.
Yeah. I've had some time to go back and think about it and stuff too. And like I've been I've been thinking about it as well, because like I said, I'm a fan as well. I'm a fan of geek culture too. So I have to really look at it from two different points of view, man. Like sometimes I'll go into something like Wonder Woman, polarizing like Wonder Woman, polarizing like say the Last Jedi or something like that, right? I'll go into it with my my geek culture glasses on, like you know what I'm saying. But then I start to, like, after I walk out of there and I have my snap judgment thought about it, like whether I like it or didn't like it, right? I'll have to the business side of me or the creative side of me sinks in, and that's kind of where I end up staying. It's like almost like the creative side of me is the stable side of me, you know what I'm saying? The geek side of me or the fan side of me is the side that will pop off it with emotion real quick. So when you guys called me before, I had already had my fan reaction side to it, you know what I'm saying? And my fan reaction side to it wasn't really, again, now you said it on the head too. I'm a Wonder Woman fan, so I am more apt to love what I see. I guess from my point of view, I am. Now that's not with everybody. So I'm more likely to like it. And the reason why I was more likely to like 1984 is because I really fell in love with Wonder Woman, not from the comics, but from the Linda Carter era of comics.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of the show.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this, man, from how she looked, what she dressed like, where she went, how she carried herself, the cameo at the end, spoiler alert, cameo at the end, it was like me watching that TV show. Now, with that being said, you go back and you watch that TV show, the TV show wasn't the best TV show, right?
For the time, it was great.
For the time, it was cool, but there wasn't a lot of action in it.
No.
That was one of the things that people like complained about. There wasn't a lot of like Diana was pretty much, I don't want to say one note, but she was pretty much one note in the TV show. You know what I'm saying? In this movie, she was Wonder Woman was Wonder Woman. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And the show didn't really end most of the time with her beating somebody up in the third act of the show. What usually happened was that she would find whoever it was. If it was a woman, she would talk them down. Like 9 times out of 10, sister, why did you do this? I can't believe you did this. We are this way. You know what I mean? And they'd be like, wow, Wonder Woman, you're great. You know what I'm saying? And that'd be it. They'll go to jail. Or she would go and she would meet the financial mogul of whatever place is being hurt or disturbed or something like that, or the villains, and she would go and toss around some henchmen, but she would actually put the lasso on the other person and talk them to death, you know what I'm saying? And they would be like, dang, Wonder Woman is fresh, man, I'm gonna turn myself in. It was never like Batman where it was like burn, you know what I mean?
Right. That was super good, yeah.
So when I saw it, I was like, wow, I thought it was a pretty good story. You know what I'm saying? Did I see the faults of it? Yes, I did. Because I see the faults in everything that I really like. I see the faults in the stuff that I create. So that's the first thing I see. And that's why most of the time, and William can attest to this, I'll be slow about drawing stuff because I'll see it, draw it, and then I'll be like, nah, that ain't right. I'll redraw it. So but to all that being said, I wasn't as angry as a lot of people were because I wasn't expecting the movie that everybody else was. So when I got online, I was like, oh my gosh, these people are just off the chain mad. And I'm just like,
yeah,
is it really that bad? Like, it really got me to really sit back and think like,
it was.
And here's the deal though. Now this is a week and a half in, right? After we talked, the things at the Capitol hadn't happened. Trump firing up, people going, hadn't happened yet.
Right.
So now, in hindsight, with that being in the mix too, everything that was happening with Wonder Woman and the people that were throwing pitchforks at Patty Jenkins and she should be fired for everything, and I can't believe that she is writing anything in the world and she's the most horrible person ever. All those people are now going back and saying, dang, Wonder Woman 84 wasn't that bad, dog.
Well, yeah, if you put life in.
I know when you put life into the whole situation and you really start to think, you know, you're like, man, I'm just a fan and that's just a movie and it's not all that bad, you know, essentially. You know what I'm saying? In perspective. Right.
Yes.
Right. And I guess that's kind of how I live, like, you know, and that's where I was coming from. Is it really that bad? Now, as a creator, man, I look at things and I'm just like, dude, and this is what we were talking about with you guys when I was talking about you guys, is that, you know, by lashing out like that, we are actually hurting ourselves, man, because we're painting everything into a small box of creativity. And as a fan, it hurts because we're not going to get the variety that we need, because what we're telling people is not that, you know, what we're telling these people with big dollars is not that the story that you put out is not what we want to see, right? Because they want to see Wonder Woman because it posed that before. But what it's saying is that it's telling the people with the dollars, is telling them that we only want to see a certain type of story. We only want to see the Marvel way to do things. You know what I'm saying? It's got to have, 2000X memes. It's got to have, very quippy dialogue. You know what I mean? They got to stay on top of it. And the third act got to be a battle. If it doesn't have a battle in it, then we're not gonna like it.
Right.
And that's a bad thing. That's a bad precedent to set, because that's after a while, that's the only thing we're gonna get. And on the other end, creatively, as a creator, for me, it's hard, dude. Because if I have to, you're also telling me that I'm wasting my time trying to present Shinobi Ninja Princess to fandom, because you won't accept it, because it's not this story that you're talking about. It's not these things that you're wanting. It's essentially a kid story. You know what I mean? It's not going to have, the gravity of the universe in there for you. You know what I'm saying? It's enjoyable. It's enjoyable for adult. It's enjoyable for kids, but it's not exactly what you're looking for. So, and that's not for me, just for me. It goes to a trickle down to every creator that's out there trying to create something original. Fandom, by us being so volatile to the creative community, most of the time, and to these people, we're actually painting ourselves into a corner of only getting a few things. That's why, if you notice, things are just being rehashed. They're taking something that they know will sell, and they're just reiterating it just a little bit. If you look how many versions of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are out there, or how many versions of Transformers are out there, or how many versions of Superman. Well, you can't even say that no more. You got to have a specific Superman. If you don't have that specific Superman with the red tights on, boy, they will come with you with pitchforks and and lightning. But but you know what I'm saying? Like how many iterations of all this stuff? There's even rumors out there now that they're about to do, even after Dark Fate. Was it Dark Fate? Terminator Dark Fate?
Yeah.
It didn't do well, right?
Right.
Even after Terminator Dark Fate, they're still trying to do another Terminator movie. That's a rumor that it's going to be a horror movie. So they're just trying to take these same things and put them into little plugs to see where fandom can be able to say, yay, I'm going to give my money. Bad part about it is most of them, they give their money anyway, which is bad itself. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like you giving your money to complain, and then you're pushing everybody into a box to still complain, so it's one of those things where it's very for me. Okay, I'm back. For me,
we still heard you. Yeah.
Okay. For me, it's very it's just very a hard space to deal with, as a creator. It puts me in a bad way, man. For instance, like if I stopped recently, I stopped going to I don't want to say stop, but I don't set up at comic book conventions as much as I used to, because the things that I have are original properties, and original properties at comic book conventions they just don't sell. They haven't been selling. And they haven't been doing as well as I would like for them to, as well enough to be able to set up again, you know what I'm saying? But if I go to an anime convention, you know what I'm saying, I do a lot better because the audience is younger and they're wide open. Their idea of what anime and manga and that part of entertainment is wide open. So I go there because my characters and the things that I want are embraced a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? And that's a bad way to be. I grew up in comics. You know what I'm saying? I love comics. Like I said, I love Wonder Woman. But now, even now, with the stuff what happened with 84, if I draw Wonder Woman, which I love, and I try and sell it, nah, dude, those things gonna sit. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna sit. You know, one of my friends, man, he drew a Star Wars picture, and he got so much backlash. I can't say who his name is. He got so much backlash for the Star Wars picture. That dude bounced out the licensing. He was like, "I'm out. Peace. I don't want to deal with it anymore because it's just too hard to work in that as a creator, to work inside of that fandom."
What kind of backlash? I'm saying?
Just the fandom is just so split. You know what I mean? They're split between, you have folks who want to like who like the direction the Disney Star Wars was going. Then you have folks that like where they only like the original set. And then you got people who like the original and the prequels, anything that George Lucas was doing, you know, plus the Mandalorian. So, you know what I'm saying? So you got those sets. And it's not, you know, it's not like I'm saying that you can't like what you like and you just gotta like everything. That's not it. It's just saying that when things get so volatile in a fandom that the creators can't even work in that fandom anymore, it's time. Something's got to change. Like something's wrong. You know what I'm saying? There's a wrong. We're heading in the wrong direction.
Martheus, so based on what you're saying, there's two, I guess, bullet points that popped in my head. Number one, in terms of the IP, what I find interesting is, I guess geek culture has, I mean, never before have we gotten like a overload of geek culture. I mean, we got Mandalorian, right. They're cranking out movies, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, one thing that is pretty obvious is the rehashing that you mentioned. Those companies that hold that IP, mm-hmm. in order to keep the IP, they have to keep feeding you the IP.
Right.
So it's right. Like, if there's a Spider-Man movie that didn't do well, don't worry, guys. In 2 years, they're gonna
run
out again. Different actor, different. We're gonna tweak the story a little bit.
Right.
You know, we're gonna throw them in another movie, whatever. But we're gonna make sure Sony's gonna make sure that Spider-Man stays alive, or they lose that property. So I'm pretty sure if you're a content creator that's creating your own IP, mm-hmm. it's like the competition is like gigantic. Like it's a huge hurdle for you to get over. So I can understand that. And then the second point is kind of getting back to what you were saying about the recent Trump insurrection, mm-hmm. which it pains me to even say that we're there now. But it paints a picture on how not only geek culture, we're talking about the geek culture side, but I think it's a bigger picture thing. People just go to the extreme with their thoughts. It's like, mm-hmm. well, I hate it, so rah. And then it's like, you know, and then you have a subset of people that feel like they need to convert to violence.
Right.
You know, like, and that's something that's prevalent in geek culture that really troubles me. Like for take it. I mean, we can cite examples. I mean, you know, Star Wars. I mean, I forgot that. Like even Rey being cast. You know, there's a subset mm-hmm. of males out there that don't want to see, you know, a woman, you know, wield a lightsaber. It's like, what? Mm-hmm. You know, mm-hmm. and they, you know, throw all kinds of stuff on social media about, you know, firing her. And I mean, she's had to close her Twitter account, all that stuff.
Right.
So that's nuts. And then what's another example? Cyberpunk.
Right.
Cyberpunk kept putting off their release date. They were giving death threats to the development mm-hmm. team.
Right.
About releasing a video game.
Right. We
what are we doing? What like that's
right.
That's the stuff that really troubles me about geek culture. It's like the thing about geek culture that I love is like, it's something that you love and you hold on to it. I mean, we're grown adults, and I mean, look behind me. I got Batman pictures and
right.
I got statues on my desk and stuff like that. I mean, I'm looking at your wall. You got a bunch of
Man,
stuff.
I got mass confusion behind me.
Right. And that's a beautiful thing, that there's a part of our childhood that we just hold dear, still function as adults, and we keep that passion going, and we kind of have this childlike essence, to us. But when it gets to the point where you're demeaning somebody or calling for somebody to get fired, or, this person is a horrible person because they didn't get your Wonder Woman right, or
right.
And granted, like,
I'm guilty for the firing. I didn't want anything personally to happen to her, but I was calling for her to get her laptop taken away and put on punishment. Don't pick up another copy of Final Draft.
And I said that. Life. Yeah, I didn't say that to put Wally on edge.
I'm just letting you know that I'm guilty. I'm guilty.
Right, but I
no
said
personal harm though.
Right, I said that because that passion gets fueled, and it can get out of hand after a while.
Right.
And I can see from your perspective, being a content creator, how you're looking at the landscape and just
yeah.
I mean, there's at times we act like spoiled children. It's like, well, we didn't get it our way, so deaf to everybody. It's like,
right. You can't scorch the earth just because you mad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because the only thing is, only thing you're gonna do is you're gonna burn yourself. And essentially this is this goes into what me and William were talking about before, is that this goes into so much the response that we have about these things goes into so many other avenues, of geek culture. It goes into like the reason why, people, they will get the reason why, let's say it, DC Comics made like Wally West black. You know what I mean? They just completely wrote off Wally West with the red hair, and then they made him black. And then they brought Wally West with the red hair back. And you felt you had to have two Wally West for a time, It speaks to why essentially DC will, or I won't say DC Comics will just change the gender or race of another character or mainstream character just so they can keep the sales. You know what I'm saying? Now, what happens is the creative team usually doesn't change. They get a little bit better about that, but the creative team wouldn't change. But what they'll do is they'll keep the creative team around, just make the character speak to another race or demographic, and then keep the sales. You know what I'm saying? So it's all of that goes back to how we relate to how we relate to the fandom. You know what I'm saying? For instance, a lot of people are like, hey, why don't you just take Static and give him a comic book and put an A-team on it and go, right? And black people are like, yay, let's do that. The thing about it is that we were going, yay, let's do that. If they came out with that book, you know what I'm saying, 9 times out of 10, we wouldn't be there to support it. It's not what we read. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to say that, a lot of times, a lot like for instance, like, a lot of times I go into comic book stores, man, and it's white males in the comic book store. If you're going to put your fire behind it, you got to put your fire behind the stuff also that you really want. So like, say if for instance, I put out Shinobi Ninja Princess, right? And I'm the best person to be able to, for me to speak on creatively because I'm doing it. That's the only person. I don't have any kind of, I can't go to, my friend over here in the comic book industry, you know what I mean? I can't do that because I don't walk in his shoes. I walk in mine, right? So We put out Shinobi Ninja Princess. And the first response, I remember when I was coming up with the concept, I was drawing all the characters out and all that kind of stuff. And I was sitting in Starbucks and I was waiting to go pick up my wife because I got off early. So I'm coming up with the concepts. I'm sketching. This guy out of nowhere came up and he was like, "Hey man, thank you for doing that." And I was like, "Doing what?" I thought I like knocked something over and I cleaned it up or something. You know what I mean? And he was like, "Nah, man, thank you for creating what you're creating. Shinobi Ninja Prince." Well, he didn't say Shinobi Ninja Prince, but that drawing, man. More kids and more little girls need to be able to see themselves as heroes. And I was like, man, that hit me, right? I was like, wow, that's cool. I really appreciate that. And it gave me a fire to be able to do it. Like I didn't realize how, I guess, how needed that section was in comics, right? Fast forward like a couple months, almost a year, the book comes out and it does well. There's a whole bunch of people that were saying, wow, we really need this. But after that first fire, that first spark of fire goes out, it went out. Like the people who were saying, oh, wow, that was great, let's go do this. They weren't always there. They weren't always willing to take their kid, who it was for, to the comic book store and invade their personal space where they go buy fandom for them to be able to capitalize off of fandom too. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not the fans, if you say you want something, like people say, hey, we need to have better storytelling in comics. We need to have people that actually know something about comics doing movies or something like that. Instead of being so vitriolic about that, actually go out and spend the money that way. You know what I'm saying? The way that you're actually saying you need it, spend the money that way, because the words are not doing the job. The words are only telling them to rehash those characters. But if you spend the money in the way and in the mind that you need new content, you know that you need new voices, and you know that you need new material and ideas and concepts and all that kind of stuff. Like, we need more Black people in comics. Support them, because there's Black comics that's out there.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's Black comic creators that are out there. Support them. You say you need more women in comics, support them. You know what I mean? Don't just complain because there's no women that are writing Superman right now. There are no women that are writing, I don't know, Spider-Man, if he's your favorite character or whatever. They're mainstream. All right. Those are mainstream characters. They will be there. They are money makers. All right. You need to support the ones where you say you need more diversity, more this, more that. And what we're doing is we're railing at mainstream, creations that have been there forever, and being vitriolic behind those and wanting to punch people in the face and calling for jobs and stuff. You know what I mean? For that, while not supporting what we say we want. So what ends up happening is that they're just going to change, and not change really. They're just going to alter a little bit what they get over here, and they still going to get money. They're still going to get money, and it's a, what we're on is a slippery slope, and it sounds like I said, it sounds like that I'm saying that you shouldn't, complain about, or not complain. You should like everything that comes out. I'm not saying that, you know what I'm saying? There should always be a balance. You know what I mean?
Right.
All of the problems are not, especially like when we're going back to movies specifically, all of the problems are not based in fandom either. Some of the movies that are coming out that fans actually have the most problem with, at their core, somewhere on their creative team, somebody wanted to change it to what they liked. So again, we're still getting that same problem of just flip-flopping and converting something. Instead of making space for new ideas, you're trying to take an existing idea that people love and flip-flop it and change it so that it appeals to more mass people, kind of.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or to what you like.
So is it okay for us to be mad at Black Batman? You and I had this conversation.
Yeah.
And it was
an
interesting one. Like, sometimes I think, to a degree, you know, a reasonable measure of vitriol is warranted based on what we identify to be the issue with something like this Black Batman. Elaborate on that.
That right there is it's hard for me to be angry at that on a certain level that I can't speak with. Yeah, I feel like that creatively I'm mad. Creatively, let's just put it that way. And not mad in the sense that I'm just like, I think it's a bad idea. I'm saying I'm mad because creatively I'm mad. I can't go any further. But
okay. We're gonna have
yeah.
Okay.
But the reason why I feel like that I was, on that situation, and I feel like that it's and it goes back to how we as fans perceive or want change, but only change to the things that we want, which is it's so weird to say and so confusing. But so Batman, right, is the one selling character across the board. No matter how much people get mad at Tom King's run on Batman or whatever, Batman is still gonna sell, right? That's the character that folks ride or die for. I love Batman. I love Wonder Woman more though, but I love Batman too. So if they're gonna try anything new, they're gonna try it with Batman, right?
It's safer.
Now it's safer, and that word right there is the problem. With anything that is diversity driven, that word by itself, diversity, in this landscape and what we just saw happen on the Capitol, you can't be safe with it. It is what it is. You either gonna make a space for people or you're not, right? You can't halfway do it. And I think that I feel as a Black man, Batman being Black is being repackaged and resold back to us. So our race is being repackaged and being sold back to us. And the reason why I say that is because I didn't think much of it until I saw this. I think it was CBR, and I think I called you. I think I texted you right when I saw it.
We conversed, immediately.
Right, and so it popped up, and it was an ad on Facebook. So I'm scrolling through Facebook, and this ad pops up, and it says, I can't remember what the exact title of the ad said, but it was the equivalent of Black Batman said to be Lucius Fox's son or something like that. But it had the words Black Batman.
Right. That's why I prefaced this whole conversation with
now.
That. Right.
Really, tell you the truth, it's a click thing. They want you to click on it. But at the same time, man, DC probably sold it on that. Hey, Batman Black, and he's Lucius Fox's son. Right. Now, if you read the comics,
you already know that
Lucius Fox's son is Batman. That. You know he's Black.
That's correct.
That's it. That's all you have to say. But instead, they have black, big bold letters, Black Batman. And I was like, that's when I was like, these fools selling our race back to us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They putting the race out there, hoping that we're gonna buy it because it's that, so that we can go in and give money. The problem is with that is that, is it, and I go back and forth with it, man. It's like, it's intentional, yes, but it's not something. It's something that I think not the title. We do, in a way, need that type of exposure in comics. You know, Black people, Black men, Black heroes, Black people as a concept. Black heroes as a concept needs that type of needs an exposure like Black Batman. You know what I'm saying? The problem is that one, who's capitalizing off of it and how they're capitalized off of it and how it's being given to us. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, what does it lead to? Is there a long-term plan? You know, is there a plan to bring more, creatives that are of color and diverse into the workspace? You know, are those voices being heard more? We don't know, but we happy because CBR said Black Batman. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I mean by like the fandom. It's all of that. What I just said is a response and a cause from us just being so hateful towards, each other and companies for trying things that are new. That doesn't mean that it has. I commend. I don't like Last Jedi, right? I don't like it. Yeah, I'll just go out and say it. I don't like Rise of Skywalker.
No.
I don't like it. A visual spectacle, though. I love the visual. It was beautiful to look at.
Yeah.
But as a story, when you sit back in it, there's just too many holes. And we can go into why those holes are or whatever.
Yeah.
But at the same end of the day, Rian Johnson has made some good movies outside of Star Wars stuff. Mm-hmm. Should he have his movie career canned because of that? No. There's sometimes you throw darts and they miss. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He threw a dart. It was a big miss.
Real talk.
Yeah. Everything that I'm gonna do, it ain't gonna work. Sometimes they're gonna be hits. Sometimes they're gonna be misses. Should I not be able to work in comics because I threw a miss? Mm-hmm. No. You know what I'm saying? So once you start looking at it like that, and you take 1984 in consideration, and you say, hey, Patty Jenkins should never be able to write again. Like seriously, right now, Patty Jenkins, she does have her contract for the last Wonder Woman movie. Mm-hmm. But at first, she was, they were talking about her because of Wonder Woman from the first Wonder Woman movie. They were talking about her being in, hopefully, writing the next Justice League if they had that to do. She announced about Rogue One and projects not Rogue One, but Rogue Squadron,
right?
Mm-hmm. And projects that she was doing at Universal, all that stuff, right? But because we hate you, we don't want to see you anymore off of one miss, right? One miss. Rogue Squadron might not be there for her no more. That's bad. That's bad. I don't care what anyone says. That is bad. And the reason why is because our fervor for a character in a movie has possibly cost a woman in the industry her job.
Or at least
not a good look.
Yeah.
At least one job. And that's not a good look.
But whose fault is that really? Like, to where you got producers and movie studios that listen to the fans so much that they will disregard someone's resume because you scared of what people on Reddit are saying. On a podcast,
it's hard to say. Like, it's hard to say. Really? Right. It's it's hard to say because that's like, if I think well, really tell you the truth, I think it's a problem all the way around.
Yes, it's a vicious cycle because it's and not to cut you off.
No,
So a lot of these companies are looking at the bottom line. So if you messing with my money, I'm gonna make adjustments to make sure that money's coming in. So fans keep, hating on a particular director.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. You get them low Rotten
like
Tomatoes.
Take Star Wars, take Rian Johnson. Like they were planning to give him his own. They were saying you could take the franchise and take it somewhere else. That was obvious in Last Jedi. That was obvious. They were trying to go somewhere else with it.
Yeah.
And he's not attached to anything now.
Right. And like he's not attached to anything. And then, he's on a cooling off section. You haven't heard his name really in any movie. Not like just Star Wars. I'm talking about any movie. Now, not saying fair. That he's right. And that's not and not saying that he doesn't have a right to not right, but he's not out there working somewhere and he's got plans. I'm not saying that. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not him. But at the same time, you haven't heard him say anything. You know what I mean? It's like there's so many behind the scenes things that happens with these movies that you don't really know. You can't really point out one creative thing and say that's the reason why. And I hate that one person. You know what I'm saying? There's so many, man. The movie
Zack Snyder, for example. I mean, there were so many people trashing Zack Snyder, and then now it's flipped. It's like Snyder cut.
Right. Turns on a dime, man. It's crazy.
Right. But the reason why they did that is because they wanted Zack Snyder out. Zack Snyder got fired in the middle of his project. No matter what anybody says, Warner Brothers pulled the plug on him because of what fans were saying, fans' reactions, right? And they were not getting, fans' reactions were affecting the dollars and cents. So they pulled the plug on him mid-film, brought in somebody else, and the film turned out really bad. Anytime you do a stitch job, I don't care if it's a film or a comic or a novel, if you do a stitch job and you don't let that person finish out their creative vision, what ends up happening is that you're going to have a bad product. And really, tell you the truth, it started coming out that that Warner Brothers wanted to be able to have it out by a specific time so the shareholders can get their money and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, behind the scenes stuff. So they did a stitch job, did reshoots, had brought in Henry Cavill with a mustache to do some stuff. And then they put out the movie that you got. Now people saw it and was just like, dang, man, that thing was horrible. Let's bring back the dude we fired. And I will say we fired because fans fired him. So now he's back.
Well, fans brought him back as well because
fans brought him back.
Right. So it's like it's
a bad situation. Like
it's
when
bad.
I don't think now do I think that companies should listen to their fans, to fandom? Yes. They should listen to them. But I think that we need to understand as fans, we have to understand our place in that situation. Our place in that situation is to voice our opinions with our dollars and cents. Correct. Not with our vitriol and fervor and online threats.
Listening to fans and empowering fans are two different things.
Two different things, right?
And it doesn't help that the internet and social media. I mean, of course, we blame everything on social media, but it's because it's true. You know what I'm saying? Well, when we couldn't get out here and everybody had an opinion and everybody was on the forums and message boards and Reddit or whatever, production companies did what they needed to do. Now everybody's scared, right? Like, they're scared of the job.
Right.
Well, and that's the thing too, that I think that's the thing that's in light of this insurrection. I mean, I hate to keep pointing back to that, but it points to a bigger thing that it's the human being quotient. Like, for some reason, human beings have to feel like if I don't like something, and I got 1,000 people that don't like it as well, and they share my opinion, raw, like it just,
Yeah.
and it's like this fire that can't be put out.
Right.
And that's what we saw on the Capitol. Like nobody thought and said, hey, wait a minute. Like every 4 years, there's a possibility that somebody else might get elected that you're not going to like.
Right.
I mean,
right.
Come back and forth.
It happened 4 years for me.
Right.
I mean,
Yes.
I'm gonna put that on record, you know.
You came back and forth.
Right.
And the thing, and here's the thing, the person that I didn't like, and I'm just saying, like Trump got elected, you know, as president. I still want him to do his job. Like, I still want him to, like, I will support somebody that's going to do their job, whether I like them or not. Like, you got elected to that position. And maybe to take it out of politics, like, you know, I think it's just one of those things where we just have to, like, we all have to check ourselves sometimes.
Right.
Just go like, is the language that I'm using, is it incendiary, or is it going, or am I just, it's okay to state your opinion and go, hey, I don't like the way this dude is moving.
Right.
But
when you think about it,
somebody harm or to cause somebody to lose their way of life is just, that's where it gets crazy.
Right. On the flip side of that, when you think about it too, you know, and I brought this up when we were talking, and this is really a sobering thing to think about, like in the entertainment part of it, in the comic book part of it, or in the you know, where the money is going in part of it, right? When you can have now during this shutdown, they had a thing called pencils down, right? I mean, in really? Comic book, it was called pencils down. Comic book creators pretty much were just out of work. You know what I mean? It was like nobody was creating content, nobody was creating money because comic books were not being circulated. You know, stores were closed, so Diamond couldn't move product. So if Diamond couldn't move product, that means that the stories that the comic book companies could not make money. So they had everybody shut down, stop doing what they were doing. All right. But on YouTube, if you go on YouTube and you look up like any kind of comic book store, not comic book store, comic book video or video game or anything like that, you can find commentary on it, right? A lot of those YouTubers are making, I won't say a lot of those YouTubers, but a good portion of YouTubers on YouTube right now, the bigger ones, are making more money than the people that are putting out the content that they are talking about.
Right.
That's sad,
Millions.
man.
Millions.
That's sad. And they are playing, reading, and commenting on the content that these creators are putting out. Even the creators who are complaining about Wonder Woman 1984 and calling for Patty Jenkins to never pick up her laptop again.
They're getting paid per view.
They getting paid. They getting paid.
You know you're talking about paid. Me right now.
No, I'm not talking about you, man. But they getting paid though.
Right.
They're getting paid by sponsorship. No matter how much little bit that is, they still getting paid. They getting paid to talk about somebody else who is creatively doing something, right? Miss with the dart or not, right? To get put out of her job while they making money off of her job. That's sad, dude. Yeah. We've created that situation.
Right.
Our hunger to either jump on and beat somebody up over what we don't feel like should happen, or our want to be able to be relevant have caused that, you know, and really tell you the truth, like I'm a part of that situation as well, you know, like everybody's a part of it, you know, because everybody's done it. But at the same time, creatively, I'm a part of that as well, because sometimes on social media, especially recently, you feel like you have to almost give your artwork away in order for people to even pay attention. So you kind of throw your artwork on social media, artwork that people, really tell you the truth, should be paying for. Every artist does it. and they throw it on social media and they throw it out there, on the web and stuff. Hey, look at me, so that you can come back and buy my stuff. That's part of the problem as well. Because it's teaching
and it's encouraged too. I mean, people
right.
say, well, if you want to be a content creator, you need to put it out for free.
Right.
And then as you're putting it out, and that's like the formula. If you give of yourself, it'll come
then
back.
Then people will come back, and it usually doesn't. And even on the point of YouTube, you have people looking at having views on there, for like the millions of views, and they're still saying, hey, can y'all go through and hit up my Patreon for just $1? You can. And it make me feel like sometimes I feel like, because I have a Patreon too, and sometimes when I'm doing a YouTube video and I'm doing a commercial for the Patreon, I feel, yeah, man, I feel like, for just $1 you can support a starving child named Anakin.
Cost of a cup of coffee.
And for a cost of a cup of coffee, you can support my child Anakin. And you can also give to our cats. We have 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel bad. Like, I feel like I'm like I'm a starving kid in a country somewhere. You know what I mean? And that's set up from us as well, from fans, and how we think and how we expect things. We want things to be the way we want it.
For your ability.
We go into a movie like this. Entertain me, fool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hands crossed, arms crossed, and stuff like that. And we're saying, make me laugh, dance, sucker. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to like, hey man, how about y'all? How about you? I know.
I
know. Couldn't help yourself. Got to do it, huh?
As opposed to like going in and being like, hey, can you take me on this ride with you? It's a different thing, man, to go in and be like, hey, man, I want to just go on a ride. As opposed to just being like, hey, I'm looking for you to mess up. Don't mess up, fool. You know what I'm saying?
But a lot of times we don't go in like I didn't go into Wonder Woman like, you better do. I expected so much because of the first one. I expected so much from Endgame because of Infinity War.
Yeah.
Like, oh no.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And like I said, I mean, you should be able to have those feelings. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point. You should be able to have those feelings, but it's just at the same time, how we express those feelings is what's killing us right now. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And how we respond to what we don't like. You know what I'm saying?
And it's okay to not like it. It's just, what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do with that? I mean, there's a lot of things in the world I don't like. Right. I'm not going to try to kill those things.
Mm-hmm. Right. I'm not going to try to kill those things.
Yeah.
That's good.
I don't like, unless it's like racism, it's like, I want that to be put down.
Right.
Never brought up again. Like, what I'm saying? Like, but it ain't going to go. I mean,
Right. Like it's like, okay, like I said, I don't like Last Jedi, right? But should that story not exist? Like that's a different thing. Like in the context of like I love, like Janet can tell you, I love continuity, right? And in continuity, sometimes I have to, as a stupid rule, if I find out that you got a part 2 to something, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna see what happens because I love continuity, right?
Right.
So in the context of a person who loves continuity, I really did not like Last Jedi.
Yeah, most of us do want continuity. I mean, matter of fact, it's required. If you're gonna have, I'm sorry, there needs to be something
continuity wise, and that goes back.
Less than 100% continuity.
Right. And
the other thing, oh, go ahead.
No. But what I was going to say was like, just because I didn't like it, should that story never be told? That doesn't mean that story couldn't be, if that's the case, and I say that story could never be told, that means that, say if there was an Elseworlds type of story, could that exist? Yeah, it could. You know what I mean? I would actually end up saying, wow, I would like to be able to see that explored in an Elseworlds type of thing. You know what I mean? It's not like saying that it's a slippery slope when you start to say that media and content cannot exist. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't exist. You know what I'm saying? Based off of whether you personally enjoyed it or not. You know, it's not hurting anyone as far as like physically, mentally scarring, unless it mentally scarred you. You need some kind of other help.
Right.
But I mean, but it's not really like, it's not damaging, I guess, to anyone really. So to kind of just say that content shouldn't be around or something like that, that's kind of going above and beyond, right? I mean, the story itself, I didn't agree with. There's some people out there, they love that story. They live by that story. And that's fine, whatever.
Yeah, I think there's a and I'll just say it here, man. I think there's a level of maturity that needs to go into geek culture, as it relates to maybe people our age. Because here's the thing, man, like my son and daughter are not gonna like Superman 2. Like, I mean, they might watch it, but there we go.
Right.
And it's boring. It's not for them.
Age well, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Just because I love it and I thought, you know, when I was a kid, it you know, there's a special place in my heart for it. It ain't. I mean,
not gonna resonate the same.
Right. Yeah, and it's like I mean, you can even say it about like say rap music. It's like you hear mumble rappers and right, and it's like I stopped saying, well, that ain't my rap music. I mean,
get off my lawn.
Right. Yeah, I stopped doing that because the thing is, there's a generation of folks that are expressing themselves in a different way.
Right.
And who am I to be that dude to be like, well, you know, that's not the way hip hop should be. It's like, I don't rap. You know, it's like,
right.
You know,
mine is better than yours.
Right.
That type of thing.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I had to move my.
Are you good?
My camera.
No, you good?
Very good. Yeah.
But no, I feel you on that. The mumble rap thing is a thing too. Like that, I just feel like everything right now, though, from politics to geek culture to music to anything that can be spoke on in any type of way is so polarizing when it doesn't have to be. And especially, I guess the reason why we feel it so much in geek culture is because geek culture naturally rails against that, right? Like we want to get away from that type of polarization,
right?
Almost, you know what I'm saying? Like emotionally, we are not supposed to be in that spot. Emotionally and entertainment wise, we should be in a spot of yay, this is great. You know what I mean? And happiness, as opposed to, you know, the dark spot right now that we find ourselves in. You know,
it's funny that the imagery that comes in my head, I hate to like reduce it down to high school, but it's like it's almost as if and this is me coming off of like Cobra Kai, so it's kind of like the geeks are the school,
awesome,
the cool kids, and then when they become the cool kids, it's like, but then you just became an a-hole, like, you know. And that's what's happened with geek culture. I mean, it's driving the movie industry.
Yeah.
So now you have a army of folks that before we got clowned, man. You going to watch that Superman movie?
Yeah.
You know, I'm watching Rambo over here, you know, like,
right.
You know, so I don't know. It's just,
I don't know, man. It's, I just know that on my thing, man, you know, and I have to look at it more so from this point of view on the creative end. It sucks. It sucks. It sucks on the creative end because creatively, it just puts me in a pigeonhole, in a position. And it tells me that in order for me to get my personal properties out that I love to death, right? Like I love those more than I love Wonder Woman. I want to see those succeed because long-time growth for me personally, creatively, financially, really spiritually, because I put so much into those characters.
Yes.
It hinges on those characters being out there. So what's this new climate is telling me that I have to put those things out there free. I have to actually, what I have to do is I have to pretty much essentially go broke so that hopefully somebody will like it enough that they will be able to give me some money back in return.
Yep.
That's a backwards transaction of how things should work, you know. That doesn't really jive well with what we've been talking with like supply and demand, really, and how you make money. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, the people that are making the most money are the ones that you're complaining to the most about what it should be. You know what I'm saying? But you're still giving them the money. You know, you're giving everybody else around the situation the money as well, but not the people creatively. You're complaining about them. You're trying to get them fired. You know, and that's a bad situation to be in. You know, it's a bad situation. Like I said, if
giving the company money and then complaining about just because you spent your $10 on a movie,
hard-earned money.
You're a shareholder now. You can tell them, you know, fire this person.
Me.
Right. Now, and the bad part about it, like I said, like I keep saying, and I say that about it too, and it's a slippery slope because people should be upset if they don't like something, they have the right to not like it.
Right.
But just keep it in perspective. And next time, really for real, vote with your dollars.
Yes.
Vote with your dollars. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't want to see something, don't go see it. If you don't want to hear about, don't want to read something, don't go read it. If you don't want to listen to the song, don't listen to it. Don't buy it. Don't download it. You know what I'm saying? Just do it that way. You know, if you have a dislike for something, I like I said, I liked Wonder Woman 84, but I did see problems with a lot of the things that happened in Wonder Woman 84 too. You know, I can say that, and I left it alone. I'm done. I'm going down the road because at the end of the day, my stock is not in 1984. My stock is going to be in the things that I am creating. You know what I'm saying? I'm not spending my energy over here
being a consumer,
yelling about these folks. They done what they've done. They got their money and they gone. You know what I'm saying? So I'm over here trying to be able to move forward creatively, you know, and when people start to complain so much that way that I can't go this way anymore, that's the problem. That's starting to be a really big problem for all of us, you know.
So
go ahead.
So final thought real quick.
Yeah.
From the creative perspective, as you said, you're going to keep moving on. But what about that person that doesn't have anything to fall back on? Because typically, that's the person that's doing the most complaining.
Right.
They don't have any.
You know what I'm saying?
They don't have a property of their own.
They don't have a property, right? You know, like a dude, like I can relate to that person. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna scream and shout because I don't got nothing that I'm drawing or that I'm writing or I'm illustrating or that I'm designing or anything like that. So what say you to them? You know what I'm saying? As fans of the culture.
Right. I mean, to that, I would just say, man, especially in light of what happened to last week. And I know people don't like to put the two together.
No, you have to.
No, you have to.
They're related.
That event alone shows human behavior.
Yeah.
Right.
And
right.
It shows that not that there's two sides to this story, but like I think there's a lot of things we have to pay attention. Like what drove them to the point of madness and violence?
Right. Right.
So, like why are we here? And there's a bigger problem there. And that's all I'll say about that.
and that's also, I would say that to them. It's just kind of like you got to think about it like this. It's like what is you just have to put everything in perspective. And the thing that I put in perspective a lot of times is that if I get heated over direction of a character or direction of a thing, what I say is one, I still have power over that situation, because I could choose to give my money to that situation or not. I can choose to give my time and my energy to that situation or not.
Right.
Two, I would say too, putting into perspective, man, it's all this stuff is fantasy. At the end of the day, Wonder Woman is not a real person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That always brings me back to zero, man. Like I'm serious. When I saw Last Jedi, right? I was like, me and Anakin went to see it, but we went to see it and we went free. I went early. I went a whole week earlier than General Public because I had a Lucas pass. I had a pass because I did some stuff for Lucasfilm at AutoZone Park, and they gave us passes. So I was like, cool, I'm gonna go see it. So I actually took him out of school, and we went to see it. And so we sat there, and while I was sitting there, I was like, I wasn't angry at the movie. I actually enjoyed looking at the movie. Like I said, it was a spectacle, especially like things when the ship went through warp speed and went straight through the other ship. I was like, man,
yeah,
beautiful. Sound went out. It was like zoom, zoom, zoom. Man, I was like, dang, that was badass. You know what I'm saying? Even seeing like Leia do her Mary Poppins thing. Yeah, I kind of chuckled. Now I did chuckle.
I chuckled too. I laughed. I was like, man, this is a little
right.
Strange.
But to see her be able for the first time in movies tap into the Force, I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. You know what I mean? I could appreciate that. Now, when I left, I was like, the first thing I remember, the very first thing I said to Anakin, I was like, how'd you like it? He was like, it was okay, And then I remember saying straight after that to him, I was like, these fans gonna be mad because of how Luke was handled. Because I wasn't even that big of a Luke Skywalker fan. I was more of a Darth Vader fan. But
he gone.
But man, when I saw how they handled Luke, I was like, snap. That's not gonna work. I don't know why I wasn't angry so much. Like I wasn't angry at that. Like, people walking out of films and stuff. I wasn't like that. I was just like looking at like,
I didn't.
That's not the Luke I like. That's not the Luke that I know. You know what I'm saying? And sure enough, the next week when that movie came out, folks were like pissed. People were mad, right? I'm talking about I was at work at the park. And folks at the park stopping me because they know my son named Anakin. They stopped me. Hey, man, you see that Star Wars? I was like, yeah, I saw it, man. Man, you see what they did to Luke? Man, they were mad. I mean, and I was like, dude, I was like, yeah, I saw it, man. But, vote with your dollars. Vote with your dollars. That's all I was saying. You know what I mean? And I don't know, even me being snap judgment coming out of that movie, and I think that was probably the most that I've ever been to where I would be like, man, I don't know if I like that movie, right? I think that was the most I've been angry, you would say, at a movie. But even coming out of that movie, the thing that I will take that back. It was actually The Force Awakens. I was mad at The Force Awakens, and the reason why was the same thing about the Batman thing. They threw Finn up there like he was gonna be a hero, and then they made him a junk man, a garbage man, and made a joke out of it. And I was mad when I came out of that. I was angry. I was very angry when I came out of that because of that.
But that's different. That's different.
That was bait and switch.
It's not bait and switch. I guess
sort of. They made it. He was wielding lightsabers and all the trailers.
Well,
and all that.
Like I guess here's. And this is a whole nother discussion we won't get into. I know we're trying to wrap it up.
We run along now.
Yeah. No, I'm not trying to say this. There are reasons to be mad at a movie. And if I think I think what geek culture doesn't do sometimes is take a second and educate ourselves on why we're mad. So why were we mad at Force Awakens? Well, a black man hasn't really been shown as a hero per se in the Star Wars deal. And then when you see posters where you see a black man holding a lightsaber, I did the same thing. I was like, oh snap, this is gonna be, this is on Black Panther level.
Right.
That's the only thing I can compare it to now.
Right.
This is Black Panther level.
Yeah.
So when I saw him getting relegated to
carrying water
and being a garbage man, it's like, but what are you saying about me? Like you start you internalize take it personal.
Personalize it.
But I think we just have to have that level of education to go, you know, this is the reason why I didn't like it, and here's why. And I know that there's been think pieces that where people have written about that.
Right.
I haven't seen them, but and maybe I need to seek them out. Like, what are some think pieces on that? But that's the problem with geek culture. We're just like, we hate it. It's garbage, and this person needs to get fired instead of like, why do I feel this way?
Right. And that's the thing now that when I got, like I was going back to what I was saying too, that's the one that I got really mad at. And the thing that brought me back to zero on that and being like, you know what I'm saying? It's not worth it. Right. Is the fact that one, that money, that movie made so much money.
Right.
You know what I mean? It made so much money. And then two, you know what I'm saying? Which told me that no matter how mad I got at it, it's not going to, my voice is not going to affect that amount of money.
Right.
Two, what I said too was that it's fictional characters. You know what I'm saying? Now, where I will support and put my dollars is when I see John Boyega do something else, because I know he's a good actor and he deserves better. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna look for his next project and I'm gonna put some money that way.
And
you know what I'm saying? Like,
and to take a step further, the movie before that, Attack the Block, made probably $5, and I love that movie.
Yeah, beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So I'm supporting the creative. I'm not supporting the mass producing person behind that. Right. And that always brings me back to zero. Because the creative will be the dude who is going to put his heart and soul in it. No matter how much money he making, he going to try and give you gold.
Right.
With whatever resources he can do.
Right.
You know, and that's the thing that I always try to lean towards. So that's what I would tell the person that don't have their own property, or the person that's just so invested in the character that they've lost themselves. It's just that the character is fiction. And what you have loved for so many years are the creatives behind that character. Support them.
Blood into that character.
Right.
Right.
Support them, because they are the ones who have made the character, that's this fictional being, the thing that you love so much. Mm-hmm. And that changes your whole perspective, because you're not going to just buy into the thing when you see an image of that character. You're just not going to buy into it all of a sudden. Now you're thinking about who's the creator, who's the writer, what's the project about, what's the story. And that's before you even saw the movie or read the comic or anything else. You're thinking about the process behind it at that point. You're not just face value, just buying it and then being like, man, I ain't like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I mean, that's the long and short of it. I mean, I just try to remind myself about this thing is supposed to be fun. These things that we're doing are supposed to be something that can get us away from the everyday troubles of life. You know, tell us that we can fly over our problems, or we're bigger than our problems, or that we can conquer anything if we just have the mind power, the will, you know, the want to get over these things. You know what I'm saying? It's not supposed to bring us into this hole that we're finding ourselves in, you know?
And I like what you said about, and that might be an excellent title for the episode, is Back to Zero.
Back to zero.
When you get back to zero, it's almost like you're centering yourself again, and you're going, okay, you know, I'm calm. I'm back to being normal.
Right.
And not
let me get back to Let me get back to zero real quick. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times I have to pull myself out of Facebook or Twitter or whatever, man. And that's what I call it. I just call it just getting back to zero, man. Let me go over here. And for real, if I'm mad at something somebody said on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, whatever, I just pull myself off of it and hang out with my family. Cause that's my zero. You know what I'm saying? That's me. That over there is fictional people that I don't know. They call themselves friends or likes or whatever, but I don't know them. I don't really know them. You know what I'm saying? It's a fake world that has been created online somewhere. It's my real world. What'd you say?
It's high school. It's basically
it's high school. Like, but my real world is at home, chilling with my family, sitting in the middle of the floor, watching a movie, joking, working on something creative. That's me. That's my life. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I think that everybody needs to be able to pull back and get back to that. They need to get back to that solid ground, man. That ground where they can just, they're not so much out there. The heads are not so much out there. They're more in the real world where they need to be.
In their circle, a zero.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I told you you were the voice of wisdom and reason at the top.
With the Prince hoodie on.
Hey, Janet made this. Janet made this hoodie, nice. Man.
That's right.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
but again, we all go back to zero. All of us, man. I'm so far off zero, bro.
Shoot, man. I'll be out
shooting for your boy. So hopefully that'll help bring me down a little bit.
I'm just gonna text you every day. I'm gonna text you. I'm like, hey man, back to zero, dog.
Okay, yeah.
Back to zero, dog.
I'm over Wonder Woman now. I'm good now.
That's a good. I mean, that should go viral. Back to zero. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for real.
Back to zero.
Man, I just think we all need it, man. We just all need it, man.
Well, look, everybody out there that's not on that zero, man, go on get back. And while you're searching for your zero, go out to Patreon. We're gonna mention patreon.com/EST1982. Hat in hand for just $1. You can support the podcast.
Support the podcast, man.
Because we don't want to be on $0. We just want to be centered. But you can give us some money for the low cost of $1 a month. Patreon.com/EST1982 podcast. But even if you don't, we appreciate the time that you spend listening to us, wherever that may be. Could be on Patreon. It could be on EST1982podcast.com or on, it's on the website that Mr. 1% is so wonderfully made. It's just a wonderful website. And then stay tuned for more updates to that. It's an inspiring website.
And Martheus, give your shout out.
Designer by True.
Right.
So.
And Martheus, give your shout outs to your
shout them out. Yeah, all your properties before we get out of here.
Oh man, you can check me and my family. Me and my family do a video cast on YouTube when we, where I do tutorials and stuff like that, and I show my process and stuff, and
video games, everything.
Yeah. So you can look that up and just check out Maw Productions, MAW Productions on there. If you want to, check out some of our Patreon. Our Patreon is patreon.com/Maw Productions, and on there we get a chance to, we show you the processes as well. We also, send out artwork. So, every tier gets a certain amount of artwork every month. Or if you just want to support the artwork, again, like I said, you could just go on there and, support the artwork and be able to just give $1 a month or whatnot for blog access and stuff too. We have our comic books are available. Our hardcover volumes of Shinobi Ninja Princess are available on ToshigawaUniverse.com. That's TOSHIGAWA universe.com. And we have a store there. And you can also find us on the books on Amazon and Comixology as well. So just look us up. when cons get back, eventually we'll be back going to conventions. I don't know when that's gonna be, but just look us up too. Look us up. We've got a lot of things that are going on, and we also have the Hero Empowerment Center that's going up. So if you want to be able to donate there, that's through the Heal the Hood of Memphis Foundation .org. So the Hero Empowerment Center is a center. It's a living building essentially. It's a center based around the comic book character of Wake, created by me and my friend Liddell Beeman. And we have a whole community center essentially built around that, with the gym. It's got movie theaters in it, Mall Production Studios, where I'll be teaching classes and having like my comic books and things based out of there will be in there. We have a video arcade. That's my son back there who is being nosy. And then we have a whole litany of stuff. We got like a stage upstairs. We've got like 4D theater. We have like restaurants that's going to be in there as well. So it's a big endeavor, but we're still gathering sponsorships for it and things like that. And if you want to find out more about that, you can go to that website as well and spread the word.
Cool. It's a lot, man.
Yeah.
I guess it's easy to maintain perspective considering you got more important things to do than worry about how bad Wonder Woman 84. So I need to get to where you at.
Man,
the more stuff to take out my mind, y'all. So thank you again, man. I appreciate that. Every time you come on, man, it's always very insightful. I always feel like I learn more about the industry outside of being a fan. And I'm sure those of us that are listening and watching, they appreciate it also, man. So, man, appreciate you coming on again, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man. Thanks. It's always fun to be on, man. I appreciate it. Give me something to do.
Look, you got enough.
Sit around. Well, I mean,
to make time for us is appreciated. So
I need to take breaks, man. I don't take any breaks. I was up, like I said, I'm always doing. So I was up to 3-4 o'clock this morning drawing, man, trying to get these pitch Bibles right. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, man, look, check this out. Again, EST1982podcast.com, man. Until next time, man, keep on playing in video games, reading them comic books, watching the movies, and binging that TV. We'll holler at you.